I had the experience of being a foreign exchange student before in New Zealand. When I was young, in high school, I went to the Maryland School for the Deaf. They offered a program for foreign exchange students. It was 1 year in another country, and I thought that was awesome. So I filled out the application, and they picked my application. And then they told me to pick 3 countries of my preference. So my first preference was New Zealand. My second was Japan. I hear that's kind of a tough culture, though, and I don't know if I really would have done well there. And the last one was France. And I sent my request in, and I ended up getting New Zealand, which was perfect. There were about 100 students who got to go to New Zealand. My family was in Arizona, so before I got to go to New Zealand, I decided to grab the opportunity to see them. So I took a 6-hour flight back to Arizona, got to visit my family really quickly, and then I flew to San Francisco for a workshop on, like all the rules of the trip and the different cultural things that I would learn in New Zealand and the warnings and stuff like that. Then we flew to LA and then Hawaii, and then we flew to New Zealand. New Zealand has like 2 countries. There's North New Zealand and South New Zealand. I stayed in South New Zealand, but I had to fly to North and then to the South. And, I flew all over the place. All together it was 26 hours. It was so long of a flight. But finally we arrived in New Zealand, and it was really interesting. I kind of felt like I was meeting all these deaf people. I'm thinking when hearing people meet deaf people, they don't know what they're signing, right? Well, now it was like I arrived there and there were all these deaf people and I didn't understand anything they were saying. See, in New Zealand they use a different kind of sign language. And so as they were signing, I didn't hear anything. So I kind of felt hearing in a deaf world. It was really interesting. My family was really great, the family that I got to stay with, but I felt a little awkward at first. I came from a Spanish culture that was really small, and this family was a white family, and they were really, really open and relaxed, and where I tended to be a little bit more conservative and private, but the kids would come out of the bedrooms in like their bra and underwear, and I felt so awkward at first, but I got used to it, and the school was really different too. At MSD they have about 300 students from 9 through 12. At this school, though, they had I think 16. I think there were only 6 students in the 6 seniors in the school. So it was a really different experience, but it was interesting.